Are we a body with a mind, or a mind with a body? Or maybe are we both? Well, regardless of your personal answer, anytime you break ground in understanding your identity, you're basically expanding your self-awareness, or also known as your levels of awareness. And that's really all we are at the end of the day, is awareness or consciousness. And your levels of awareness or your levels of consciousness determine so much in the development of how your life will play out. For example, the conscious levels of animals determine their role in the animal kingdom. And one could argue that because humans are at such a high level of awareness, they've been able to basically break that kingdom. And even though we're not really suited to be the most powerful animal, we really are best suited in the mind. This is just one very simple example of how your levels of awareness and consciousness can really play out in your destiny. So anytime that you are expanding your levels of awareness, you're essentially investing in yourself. And you know it's an investment because you'll be able to see the improvement in the quality of your life, and it also unlocks abilities that really make the difference. That's pretty much the whole purpose of a human being's life from start to finish, is really to get them from being babies to getting into the mentality of a mature individual. And this process is done through extensive teaching and learning in school, along with extensive raising and the education in manners done from parents and society as well. So there's really a lot of conditioning basically going on to prep us to get into these higher levels of consciousness. And even the very words we exchange and the words you're hearing on your screen are parts of a higher level of consciousness so that we can express much more complex ideas. And that's pretty much the point in expanding your awareness, is that you got to realize that it's a learning process, and one has to be their own teacher and their own student and their own master eventually. And that is the goal at the end of it all, is to become a conscious master, to raise your levels of awareness so high that your life can go in any direction and you'll be able to overcome any possible scenario. It's always been the task of religions and for schools of thought to really raise the conscious levels of different people and to have them come to a deeper understanding. So make sure we strive for these types of things. And while it all sounds so good in theory and in conversation, the reality is that we're more likely to gravitate towards the worldly things and the short-term pleasures of life because they're just so easy to obtain. But remember that anytime you are expanding your self-awareness, you're investing in yourself. So it's important to stop spending our time and our intentions into things that'll bring us short-term pleasures. But let's remember to invest in ourselves in expanding our self-awareness, because anytime we do that, we'll be putting ourselves better off than if we're just consuming our whole life and enjoying the short-term pleasures. And to quote the famous Hermes, one must know thyself in order to really come to understand what life is all about. And that will always be worth more than anything this world has to offer. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is success. The more awareness you obtain, the more power you can apply.